I met my late sister-in-law, Sophie Auma Opio, sometime about the year 1980. That makes it almost some 43 years ago before she got married to my brother. I significantly participated in the marriage or betrothal ceremony when I went to pay dowry, at the same time to pay what in our traditional Luo tradition is called a year. A year simply means that I agree, and normally after the lady and the man agree to get married, it's normally followed by dowry, but on most occasions it is done at once. So I accompanied significantly the late Zephaniah Owiro Okello as the leader of that business, and I was the second in command. I also remember that I was accompanied by my two cousins, I think my elder brother, John Okello, my two cousins, Godfrey Abwao and Dave Ouma Ngolo, among others. An important incident that it sounds amusing, that I witnessed of that day is that usually when you go to pay dowry, there's a bit of negotiation, there's a bit of tug of war here and there before you come to the final agreement. And on that day, the spokesman was so tough that according to him, we had gone there to waste time. We had gone there just to observe the sugarcane plantations, and that we had better leave. That was something that was both shocking and to an extent also amusing. We walked out briefly and regrouped and revised our figures, and eventually when we returned to the negotiation venue, this was accepted. It's something that always keeps to linger in my mind, and I used to tell my late sister-in-law, remind her of that incident, how we went to admire sugarcane plantations rather than going to pay dowry for her. And that's how valuable she was in her life and also to the family, because these negotiations normally depend on education status and other things like character of the person. Be that as it may, eventually they got married and later on formalized that marriage. Mama Chichi, as we knew her, was a trained school teacher, a professional teacher par excellence. And so when she came into our family, she continued with that occupation as a teacher. So she taught for 13 good years, but she had a lot of business acumen. I think she came from basically a business family, people who had a lot of business acumen. And then I asked her, are you able to, can I benefit from your business knowledge as a family? Because I had farms, I had two farms, one in Muhoroni and another one in Miwani. So she resigned from her teaching profession, which she never resumed even up as at the time of her death. She devoted her time in running my businesses, and the two businesses that I had. One was farming and one was just estate. I owned certain properties, I will describe them. But as far as farming is concerned, we had two farms in Miwani and Muhoroni. So we did our best to, or she did her best to get certain new tractors and to grow sugarcane. Unfortunately, the sugarcane prices or farming has always remained a challenge even up today. If you go to most of the farms there, the businesses, farming businesses have failed because I think of our general conduct in importing sugar, which is cheaper than sugar that is locally manufactured. As a result, that discourages farmers, because the sugarcane that you grow does not fetch the amount. Like, for example, we would spend 2 million shillings, and then in the harvest end up only with 500,000 shillings. And then you wonder why you are farming, going on with the farming. So for that reason, we abandoned, or she abandoned that project. And then we now decided to concentrate on estate management. I have properties in Kisumu, and mainly in Kisumu, and also in the rural areas, in the village. I have properties where we normally collect rent. So she's been managing the properties, carrying out repairs, collecting rent, attending to the tenants and all that thing. And all I can say about that, she did it very well and with dedication. An outstanding part of her character is really integrity. Many people suffer from lack of integrity. So in terms of integrity, she had very high integrity, a very accountable manager in her handling of people, a sociable personality. Above all, she had a lot of regard for the truth, which is something that you need in business. So she was all the time smiling, engaging in discussions, and running a business with the principles of business. When it was necessary to become tough on something or to demand rent, etc., she did it with perfection. Another significant part of her life that I would like to talk about is her commitment to the Christian religion. She always told me she was born again. She also, from time to time, also preached to me and said, look, there is a lot of advantage in adopting the Christian life. And in this regard, she became a very prominent member of the worldwide evangelistic mission, where she rose to become the presiding bishop for Kenya. So that is who she was. As a family person, she brought up some 5 children who are all well engaged. The first one is married. The second one, who worked for me, Chris Ngolo, worked for me for several years. He's now working for Kenya Women Finance Trust. And they have got their 3 sons and 2 daughters, very well brought up. So in conclusion, in this tribute of mine is to pray that her soul may rest in eternal peace. And I also plead with the Almighty God to comfort his bereaved family. Thank you.